Good afternoon, everyone. So, yesterday we discussed about how the repertories are helpful in different type of cases. So, we will continue with the same topic. So, in chronic diseases, the totality should include the state of disposition, mind, and the totality of symptoms. Repertories used, all general repertories can be utilized for the fully developed dynamic chronic cases. As we discussed yesterday, that in chronic cases, we should have to take all the mental general, physical general, as well as particular symptoms. So, all general repertories, the repertories based on the philosophical background, different philosophical background, that is from general to particular, from particular to general, we use for repertorization of these type of cases. Then in non-miasmatic chronic disease, it is given in aphorism number 94. While inquiring into state of chronic diseases, the particular circumstances of the patient with regard to his ordinary occupation, his usual mode of living and diet, his domestic situation, and so forth must be well considered. So, in case of non-miasmatic chronic diseases, when we remove these, we should inquire, we should ask the patient about all these things. These are very much important, especially in chronic diseases, because they help us to cure the patient in easy way and in short period, because many times there is some modifications in his daily routine, in his dietary, in his diet. Uh, if we do some modifications in that, we do some changes in these things, then may he proceed fast towards the cure. Then repertories, this also we cover yesterday, that repertories which are based on the occupational diseases. So these are Nair repertory, Clark's clinical repertory, Borik's repertory, latest general repertories, that is synthesis, Murphy's repertory, and complete repertory. So bad hygiene, excess indulgence, and deficiency disorder, for these repertories, for these type of diseases or disorders, repertories which are used are all general repertories under generalities chapter, has a lot of rubrics related to this. Then Borik's repertory. Yes, Anjali Kavade. Yes. Okay, so all the general repertory as well as Borik's clinical repertory, Nair's clinical repertory, they are used for such type of diseases. Then rubrics like Pellagra, which is found in Clark's repertory, Phatak's repertory, and other latest repertories. Then generalities of Kent, in Kent repertory, in generality section, we found many rubrics related to such type of deficiency disorder, as well as for bad hygiene or excess indulgence. We found many rubrics related to this condition in Kent repertory in generalities section. Then abuse of iron, quinine, sulfur, mercury, such type of rubrics are also found in these repertories. Then intermittent diseases. So it was given in from aphorism number 231 to aphorism number 244. So the repertory related to febrile intermittent diseases. There are diseases which are febrile as well as non-febrile. So for febrile intermittent diseases, BBCR's fever section is very much elaborated and very much helpful when we take the proper case. Then repertory of intermittent fever by W.A. Allen, then H.C. Allen's Therapeutics of Fever, then Bonnie Muson's Repertory of Intermittent Fever. It is also helpful in febrile intermittent diseases. Then if the diseases are febrile, then according to the disease condition, there are many repertories related to febrile intermittent diseases. So they have given the example of migraine. That is, for example, if we consider the condition migraine, then for, yes, Amisha, hello, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Any query?
No, no, ma'am.
So repertory, in case of repertories related to migraine condition, so there are many repertories like NIDBAS, EAS, repertory of headache, then repertory of migraine and other headache concomitants by CJU PV. So in this way, there are repertories which are based on the febrile intermittent disease condition. According to the disease condition, there are many repertories are available. Then one-sided diseases. In one-sided diseases, it was given from aphorism number 172 to aphorism number 184. In these diseases, we found very few number of symptoms, sometimes only one or two symptoms. So diseases where only few symptoms are seen in the case, it can be of purely mental or physical diseases. The one-sidedness can be due to the following reasons: mainly advancement of pathology in an incurable case and due to the suppression. So why the case become one-sided? Because there is suppression for a long time, as well as if in that case the pathology is too much advanced and the case become, or the state of the patient become, state of the disease become incurable. So in such cases, which repertories are helpful for find out the similimum group of remedies? So in such condition, usually the clinical repertories, they are helpful. So, for example, general clinical repertories, that is Clark's clinical repertory as well as Borik's clinical repertory. And there are also, we see in the classification of clinical repertories, that is they are classified into different group: general clinical repertory as well as particular clinical repertories. So in particular clinical repertories, they are based on the one part, one organ, one system. So these are the repertories. They have given the example, that is repertory of toothache, then repertory of appendicitis. So these are the examples of repertories. Such type of repertories we can use in one-sided disease condition. Then mental diseases. Related to information related to mental diseases, how we take the case, how we treat the patient, it was given in our organon of medicine from aphorism number 210 up to aphorism number 230. And for such conditions, analytical repertory of mind by Constantine Herring. Then also all general repertories can be used for this purpose, because in all general repertories, the mind section, it was given very well. Then physical generals must be given more importance than the mental diseases. In so we can use all general repertories, because in all general repertories, especially repertories which are based on the deductive logic, in those repertories, mental generals as well as physical generals, they are given in proper way or in elaborate way. So we can use for such type of diseases these type of repertories for repertorization, or to find out the simillimum or similar group of remedies. Then local diseases. Local diseases means the disease occur at any local part. So it was given from aphorism number 185 up to aphorism number 120. Sorry, it was written 20, but it is 120. So though the local diseases appear to be local, they are at one particular point, but prior to it, there is internal derangement of vital force. So the totality is the same as that of chronic disease totality. So in case of local diseases, as the disease is at local level, but then also we should consider, or we should take the proper case. We should ask all the details about his mental general, physical general, as well as his particulars, so that we can able to find out the proper totality of such type totality in such type of disease conditions. So the totality is the same as that of chronic disease totality. We should take, as we take the totality, as we take the case, and then we do analysis, evaluation, and form the proper totality of the case. In that way only we should take the case and form totality in local diseases. So for such type of diseases, repertory of wards, it was given as example. Such type of repertories, it is by Douglas, and such type of repertories, they are helpful for local disease condition. Then chronic miasmatic diseases. We discussed earlier that chronic non-miasmatic diseases. Now, chronic miasmatic diseases was given from aphorism number 78, 79 and 80. So, the true natural chronic diseases arise from chronic miasm, and repertories related to miasms, for example, miasmatic repertory of R.P. Patel, then the repertory of homeopathic nosodes and sarcodes by Berkeley Square. The general repertories give few rubrics regarding miasm. So, the chronic miasmatic disease, it is based on, or it is having a particular miasm, the disease condition or the patient, it's showing some miasmatic background very well. Then in such cases, the miasmatic repertories of R.P. Patel, then the repertory of homeopathic nosodes and sarcodes by Berkeley Square, then general repertories, they are helpful in such type of cases. So, what is the conclusion from this? How the repertories are useful in different type of cases or different type of disease condition. So what we conclude from this, that the case decides which repertory to choose. It is not in such a way that for each and every case we can use one repertory only, but according to the case, according to the symptoms, whatever we get from the case, we should select the repertory, and when our repertory selection is proper, then and then only we can reach towards the proper simillimum. It may be there may be some mistakes in selecting the repertory, but our simillimum or the group of simillimum, the remedies in group of simillimum, it may matches each other, but then also when we select the proper repertory according to the case, then definitely we get the similar group of remedy, and from that group of remedies, after repertorization, we can able to select the proper simillimum to cure the patient. Then to get the best repertorial result, physician should have the knowledge of disease and Hahnemannian classification. So as to get the proper repertorial result, we should have, or the physician should have knowledge about the disease condition, about the how the diseases are classified, as we discussed in the last lecture, that how the diseases are classified in detail we are going to discuss afterwards. But this knowledge of classification of disease, the Hahnemannian classification of disease, is very much important. Then analysis and evaluation of symptoms. The physician should have knowledge how to take the case, then how to analyze the symptoms of the case, then how to evaluate the symptoms of the case. If either he if and only when he have the knowledge of proper analysis and evaluation, then only he can able to construct proper totality of the case. Okay, then repertory construction and philosophical background. So before handling the repertory, before the physician want to repertorize with any repertory, then as I told in the earlier lectures that the physician, before using the repertory, he should know about, he should have the proper knowledge about that repertory, how that, what is the philosophical background behind that repertory, how that repertory was constructed, so that then only he can able to use that repertory properly. Otherwise he is not able to use, or he is not able to find out the proper rubrics or proper symptoms in the repertory. As well as when we analyze and evaluate the case, then according to the repertory, according to the philosophical background of the repertory, we should analyze and evaluate the symptoms. For example, if there is we are using the Kent repertory for repertorization, then as Dr. Kent, he gave importance to general symptoms first, and then he go towards particular. So while analyzing the case, he should differentiate the symptoms into mental general, physical general, and then particular. And if we analyze the case with the help of or we are going to repertorize the case with by using the Bonny-Hussels therapeutic pocketbook, then as the philosophical background of Bonny-Hussels therapeutic pocketbook, it is based on the complete symptom. We give importance to location, sensation, modality, and concomitant. So when we are going to use the BTPB, then accordingly we can analyze the symptoms. So we analyze the symptoms according to location, sensation, modality, and concomitant. So in this way, for analysis and evaluation of symptoms also, the physician should have the proper knowledge about the construction and philosophical background of the repertory. So thank you. This is all about uh, the classification, what is repertory, and how we classify the repertory into different groups, then how it was helpful for the repertorization, how the classification was helpful with the help of different classification, how we can choose the proper repertory for the proper case. So for selection of repertory, how the classification is useful, this is discussed, this we discussed in this lecture with the help of classification. Thank you.